This video is sponsored by ViewSonic. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and like many of you guys, I am also stuck at home doing work while we are all on lockdown. Now, because of that, I had to revamp my desk setup and my home workstation. Now, thankfully, before this lockdown even started, I got in the mail from ViewSonic the VP3881 Ultra Wide Curved 21:9 MVA Panel. I know that's a lot to say. Basically, it's a 38-inch ultra wide curved display. Now, I never knew if I would like a curved display or not. I thought because I love my lines being super straight in my images that I would not like a curved display. And the truth of the matter is, I actually now love this thing that is sitting behind me, and I'm gonna go into a bunch of reasons why. But before I do that, let me tell you about my old setup. I used to have a 2013 iMac sitting here. I also have a 16-inch MacBook Pro that is meant to be my one computer to rule them all. The one that I take to work, but also bring home so that I can get work done. Now, the problem with that is when I unplug at the studio, at the factory, and come home, I had nowhere to plug the laptop in to give me a bigger display, so I was sitting hunched over at the kitchen table trying to see and do work, which isn't the best way to work. It's not efficient, it's much slower. Like I said, right before the lockdown happened, this monitor came in the mail.
It's your generic package!
And I threw it in the car as we were packing up everything for the lockdown because I didn't know when I'd get back to the factory. I brought the monitor home and setting it up, when you take monitors out of the box, you're like, this is gonna be hard to set up. How do I get the stand onto the display? And then how do I hook it up? Does it have all the cables that I need? Well, thankfully, I took this out of the box. The display stand connects right to the monitor in one click. You put it on your desk. It came with a USB-C cable, a HDMI cable, a DisplayPort cable, and you're done. All I had to do was plug in the USB-C to the monitor into my laptop, and bam, I have a display and I'm all set right out of the box. Also, it is color calibrated from the factory right out of the box, ready to go. Now, I thought I ran into an issue because I left my charging cable at the factory for the laptop, but thankfully when I plugged into USB-C, it also has power, so it charges and powers my laptop and runs the display. So there's nothing better than having one cable to charge and power and also connect the laptop to the display and get going. Now let me turn here and show you it in Lightroom, because what I absolutely love about it, and I've got a photo here from Steven that is 21:9. I'm gonna go full screen and just look at how it covers the full screen with the panoramic image. Now, one of the things that I absolutely love about having this display is how much real estate I have to work with. From edge to edge on the diagonal, it's 38 inches. The curve is subtle. Let me turn around here and tell you, I didn't know if I would like the curve. I always thought that it would just be weird to have a curved display. But now that I'm using something this big, it almost makes the 16:9 aspect ratio monitors feel like they're outdated and from the past, because when you have so much workspace to work with, you can put up multiple images. Let me show you that. So I'm gonna select these two images, boom, boom, put them side by side, hit the tab button, but watch this. Now I can just do this and I have even more space. I'm pretty blind. Everybody knows that I'm pretty blind, and that's why being able to just sit where I'm sitting at the right angle. Oh, by the way, you can raise the display, you can tilt it back, you can rotate it. It does a lot of things. Oh, let me point out one thing, or another thing, I keep saying that. The base is a pretty big base, and it's not Rob base, and it's not all about the base, Megan Trainor, but it's a pretty substantial base, which means it's sturdy. But if you have a smaller desk, just know that this base may take up some extra space on it. It works perfectly fine on my desk, but it's sturdy, and I'd rather have a sturdy base and easy to connect base, because it was super easy to just click it in, connect it, and be done. I did it all by myself. I thought it was gonna be heavy. It actually wasn't heavy either. Maybe I've been working out a lot, but that's not it. It's actually pretty light and connects and works perfectly fine. But here are these two images. Now, this is from a project that I'm doing where I am digitizing slides from 1956, 1962, 1968, and it's been a fun little project, but it's also cool to see that I can take one of the images. The image on the left is actually HDR. I took 4 or 5 exposures of the slide with my setup and got the HDR one. This is what that one looks like on the left, but on the right, I just have the regular slide that I took one picture of. By the way, this is Kodachrome, and the Kodachromes are absolutely gorgeous. But the point here is that I have 2 images on the screen horizontally that are massive. You want to look in on it, we go like this, we want to compare it. Say you're doing a portrait and you're like, well, which is better, the before, the after, the left or the right? You can sit here and do this from further back than I could ever do it from with a regular display, and it's all right here. And by the way, the other cool thing about the subtle curve is you don't find yourself looking or moving to look at it straight on, because you could see it from all the angles without a problem. And let me just show you some of these other Kodachrome images. That is a bear. This is 1956, somewhere in India. It's just super interesting to see these Kodachromes come to life. Look at the color of the Kodachromes. It maintains it. That's how amazing Kodachrome is. And then just a couple of other slides. This one, I believe, was Japan in 1956. This was Ektachrome. That's why the color doesn't look as good. But look how amazing the color is from this set of Kodachromes. This photographer did a fantastic job. I'm doing a whole project, like I said, where I'm digitizing these slides. It's cool because on the slides, you can actually see where the photographer wrote on the front of them different information, like the location, as well as the date. And then I digitized the slides for this video that I'm putting together. And it's just cool watching history come alive. This person traveled from Cairo to Israel to Pakistan to Syria to Japan, all over the world, and I can't wait to dig in and find more information. Now, this is the difference. This is Ektachrome. You see how color shifted it is? Now let me show you this. Let's put these side by side. On the left, you have the Ektachrome not corrected. Then we went ahead and made a preset just to correct the Ektachrome color, and this is what we came out with. So you can see how much better the color is once you process it, but we got left, we got right, and it's up on the big ass screen. One of the things that's more difficult for me to do at home versus the studio is focus and get work done, because my cat is always trying to jump up on my lap while I'm working. He then tries to bite my fingers or lay on the keyboard, which is a pain in the ass. But thankfully, the box that this ViewSonic display came in is wide enough to become a door, because I actually don't have a door on my office, so I can block it, stack a couple of boxes. Now Kitty can't distract me. Now check this out. Like I said, I'm blind, but when I'm putting together, say, photo news fix or something, I've got web pages open on the left. I got web pages, well, generally, I have web pages open on the left and a way to type in the middle, except for the fact that on my super small display, the 16-inch monitor, it's very difficult. I have to go back and forth to read the notes, to read the website, to then take and write down the fix. But in this case, I've got the display on the left. As you can see, it's Amazon. By the way, if you'd like to purchase this monitor, this video is brought to you by ViewSonic. You can go to the Amazon link down below to pick up this display. On the right, I have another web page just showing you can have multiple web pages open, as well as information about the display right here. We talked about it being ultra wide curved 21:9 MVA panel. It's color accurate right out of the box, 100 hertz with adaptive sync. We know it has the USB-C DisplayPort, HDMI, and it powers my laptop. Comes with all the cables, super easy to set up, and basically rendered my iMac here useless. Now, all my iMac is being used for over here is to be a shirt rack for my iShoot Raw shirts. So like I said at the beginning of this, I wasn't sure whether or not I would like an ultra-wide curved display. I had my hesitations because I thought my lines wouldn't be straight enough. And to be honest with you, I like the subtle curve of this. the main reason I love this ultra wide display is the fact I have so much real estate. I have one display. I don't have to put two displays next to each other and in the middle have a bezel, or put one in the middle and one on the left or the right and have to lean over or turn it on an angle to see it. It's a subtle curve. It doesn't take any getting used to. I love the color accuracy. I love how bright it is. My images look great. It's so much easier for me to do work on there because I can put something on the left, something on the right, and it's so much easier for me to work with. As I said earlier, it basically renders regular displays obsolete for me because I don't think I can go back to something that is the other aspect ratio of 16:9. Now that I've gone ultra wide with the slight curve, I don't think I can go back. So I'm gonna have to throw another one of these on the desk at the factory, have one here at the house so I can just take my laptop, plug in with USB-C, take it out, bring it home, and I'm good to go. So this is the linchpin of my new desk setup here at the house while we're locked down. And when it's all over, I'm getting another one of these displays at the factory because I love all of the screen real estate that I get with this display. So for more information, check out the links down below. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, if you have any comments, you can leave them down below. And that is where I'm gonna leave it. Jared, PolinFronosPhoto.com. See ya.